We now come to your first function in Excel that is not a mathematical function. This one is the if function. It does follow the same syntax in that it always starts with an equal sign, then an if, then an open bracket. At that point, it then differs from your mathematical functions. Within the brackets, there are actually three parts that are divided by a comma, so here and here. First part of your if statement is the criteria, so the condition that we are checking for, hence the name if. So if this condition that we are checking for evaluates to true, then we do whatever we are told to do in this section, so the true section of the if statement. If the criteria, the condition, evaluates to false, then we go ahead and carry out this condition, whatever that condition might be. So the conditions are checking values usually of cells, or even values of results of formulas. They can get quite complicated, but we'll keep things straightforward to start with. And then the output is either another cell content or the result of a formula or just a plain text value. Now, if we take the sales data 2013 file as an example, in the sales summary sheet, you'll find that we now have targets. So these targets are per region. So each region must reach $10,000 of sales. What we'd like to do in the column after here is use an if statement to tell us effectively whether we met the target or not. So we start in I2 and we want to check the north sales against the target. So equals if, always an equals and then an if, and you can see it appears in the list, open bracket. Now our criteria is that the total sold must be greater than the target, comma. That's the end of our criteria, our evaluation. Now if F2, so the total sold, is greater than the target, then we've actually achieved our target. Now all I want to do for the moment is just tell us that. So I'm going to open a set of speech marks, put the words target met, close the speech marks, close the bracket. So that completes what will occur if the target is met. If, however, we are looking at the reverse and the condition is not true, therefore we haven't met the target, then we're going to put another little statement out. So again, open speech marks, not met, close speech marks, close round brackets to close my if statement. So we can see in that formula there are three parts: the condition, so F2 being greater than G2. What to do if that condition is met? Well, I just want to write out the text target met. What to do if the target is not met? I just want to write out not met. Now sometimes people will get carried away with their if statement and try and ask the reverse of a question. As far as Excel is concerned, the question either has to be true or false. It cannot have multiple results. If it has multiple results, then we are looking at multiple if statements, and you'll need to come back for the advanced title. So let's concentrate on our single if statement. We have our if statement in place, what to do when the condition is met, and what to do when the condition is not met. If I now press return, we can see that they actually haven't reached their target in the north, and we get not met. Now the good thing about if statements is, just like all the mathematical functions, they are relative functions. So if I were to take this function here and copy this down the whole of my list to check each of the regions, let's just widen the result there, we can see that it works. The south have met their target, and the east have seriously met their target. But the west, just like the north, have not met their target. So it's a straightforward if, comparing one cell value with another and allowing us to put out a text output. If, however, we copy that formula down to the total, it says we have not met because our target here has been left as 38262, when actually it should be 40,000 for the region because it's summing across. So let's change that sum to sum our four targets. So the target for the whole company effectively is 40,000, total sales 36,558, and we've not met those either. However, I think we have met those targets. I mean, look at the East sales on their own. They're close to achieving the whole company's target in one go. Let's just check this total sold. Now you can see it has a little green triangle to the top left. And if you click into the cell, it gives a warning symbol, which we can expand. And it says that this is an inconsistent formula. Now we can either look at the formula more deeply and try and figure out where it's failed, or we can say copy the formula from the left. So that it takes this formula here and pastes it to here to see if that gives us a more correct result. Well, let's try that. And you can see that that then looks correct now. We have 71,000 sales for the whole company, which is greater than 40,000, which was our target, and the target has now been met. So in this case, we've seen an if statement in action, and the little warning symbol has actually helped us out where the formula has not been correct.